The latest twists in The Bold and the Beautiful have kept viewers on the edge of their seats as the storylines unfold with unexpected betrayals, emotional confrontations, and life-altering decisions. From shocking revelations to deepening family drama, the Forrester family is in for a wild ride as secrets are uncovered, hearts are broken, and alliances are tested. Monday, April 28, 2025. The shocking revelation of Eric's manipulation. As the preparations for Forrester Creations' highly anticipated fashion show move forward, everything seems to be in place for a successful event. The models are ready, the designs are finalized, and the guests are arriving. However, things quickly take a dark turn when it is revealed that Eric Forrester has been orchestrating the entire event with ulterior motives. Unbeknownst to many, Eric's true intention behind the fashion show is not just about showcasing Forrester's designs, it's about reuniting his son Ridge with his ex-wife Brooke. Eric's actions come as a shock to both Steffy and Taylor, who are devastated to learn that their father has been actively working against them in his quest to bring Brooke and Ridge back together. Taylor, in particular, is hurt by the depth of Eric's manipulation, and the pain of his betrayal only adds to the already complicated family dynamics. The revelation strikes a deep blow to Taylor, who has long fought for her place in Ridge's life, only to see her father undermine her relationship with him in such a calculated way. Ridge, still in love with Taylor, finds himself caught in the middle of his family's drama, unsure of how to navigate the complex emotions surrounding his relationships with both Brooke and Taylor. Eric's interference threatens to tear apart the already fragile bond Ridge shares with Taylor, and the tension is palpable. The confrontation. Taylor and Brooke face off. After learning about Eric's scheme, Taylor and Brooke's animosity reaches a boiling point. When Taylor realizes the true extent of Eric's manipulation, she confronts Brooke in a heated exchange. The two women, both determined to claim Ridge's heart, clash in an emotional and intense confrontation. Brooke, ever confident in her place in Ridge's life, stands her ground, but Taylor is no longer willing to accept being sidelined by Brooke's influence. The verbal sparring quickly turns physical as Taylor slaps Brooke across the face, marking a significant turning point in their rivalry. This moment is more than just a physical altercation, it's a culmination of years of tension, jealousy, and heartbreak between the two women. Eric, witnessing the confrontation, intervenes to protect Brooke. His actions only serve to reinforce Taylor's realization that she will never have Ridge if Eric continues to manipulate the situation. Taylor's anger boils over, and she storms off, realizing that her fight for Ridge's love may be a losing battle. The emotional toll of Eric's interference and Brooke's role in the situation leaves Taylor feeling devastated and abandoned by her own family. Taylor's struggle. The heartbreak of losing Ridge. In the aftermath of the confrontation, Taylor is left to grapple with the reality of losing Ridge to Brooke. The emotional toll of Eric's manipulation, combined with the ongoing heartbreak of seeing Ridge gravitate back toward Brooke, weighs heavily on Taylor. The deep emotional strain is compounded by her ongoing struggle with heartache syndrome, a condition that has already taken a toll on her health in the past. As Taylor faces the reality that Ridge may never fully return to her, she finds herself questioning whether she can continue to fight for a relationship that seems increasingly out of reach. The pain of seeing Ridge return to Brooke, coupled with her unresolved feelings of betrayal, pushes Taylor to the brink. She struggles with the temptation to take drastic actions, including resorting to unhealthy coping mechanisms, as she battles the crushing weight of her emotions. Will the heartbreak of losing Ridge once again cause Taylor to spiral into a dangerous emotional state? Or will she find a way to regain control of her life and her happiness, despite the overwhelming obstacles standing in her way? Katie's discovery. The growing tension with Daphne and Carter. Meanwhile, Katie finds herself caught in a web of suspicion and growing concern for her sister Hope. When Katie accidentally witnesses a moment of intimacy between Daphne and Carter, she is immediately unsettled. Though the exact nature of their interaction remains unclear, Katie's instincts tell her that something is not right. Carter, a man who has long been a part of Hope's life, is now the subject of Katie's scrutiny as she wonders whether he is betraying Hope's trust. Katie, protective of Hope and determined to shield her from any potential heartbreak, confronts Carter about his actions. Her concern for her sister's well-being drives her to take action, warning Carter that she will not stand by and let Hope be hurt again. Katie's intervention adds a layer of tension to the already complicated situation, as Carter and Daphne's relationship becomes a source of conflict in the Forrester family. As Katie's suspicions grow, the stakes for Carter and Daphne become even higher. Will Katie's warnings be enough to prevent further betrayal, or will her actions inadvertently push Carter and Daphne closer together? The battle for Hope's happiness is far from over, and the dynamic between these three characters is bound to intensify in the coming episodes. As the drama unfolds on The Bold and the Beautiful, we see characters being pushed to their limits, with secrets being exposed, confrontations happening, and relationships hanging by a thread. The week starting on April 29, 2025, brings new revelations and tensions that will likely have lasting consequences. Let's dive into the pivotal moments of the show. As Ridge faces Eric, Daphne's dark motivations come to light, and Katie's suspicions grow about Carter and Daphne's relationship. The tension between Ridge and Eric reaches a boiling point as Ridge confronts his father about the recent events involving Brooke. Eric has always been a dominant force in Ridge's life, but now his manipulative actions have gone too far. Ridge is furious after learning that Eric has been undermining his relationship with Taylor and has been actively trying to push him back toward Brooke. Ridge, who is deeply committed to Taylor, feels betrayed by his father's interference. The emotional weight of their confrontation is palpable as Ridge questions Eric's intentions and loyalty. This is not just a typical father-son squabble, this is about the future of Ridge's happiness and his family. Eric, on the other hand, continues to believe that Brooke is the best choice for Ridge, even though Ridge has clearly chosen Taylor. His insistence on meddling in Ridge's personal life shows how far he is willing to go to control the situation. This clash highlights a significant rift in the Forrester family and raises the question of how much longer Ridge can tolerate his father's interference. As Ridge stands his ground, asserting his decision to stay with Taylor, it's clear that Eric's actions will have long-lasting consequences for their relationship. Will Ridge continue to push back against Eric's manipulation, or will he eventually give in to his father's wishes and reconcile with Brooke? The tension is far from over and the stakes are high. While Ridge deals with his father, a separate, but equally important, storyline unfolds involving Daphne. It becomes increasingly clear that Daphne has been hiding something sinister. Her actions have raised suspicions, and Katie, ever the vigilant observer, is starting to connect the dots. Katie, who has always been protective of her family, particularly her sister Hope, begins to suspect that Daphne may be involved in something underhanded. She has noticed Daphne's behavior around Carter and has observed her growing influence over him. Katie's instincts tell her that there's more to Daphne than meets the eye, and she is determined to get to the bottom of it. Katie's suspicions intensify after the fashion show when she confronts Daphne. The two women meet after the event, and Katie wastes no time calling Daphne out for her involvement in Steffi's plans. While Katie's exact words remain unclear, it's evident that she is connecting the dots between Daphne's actions and her influence over Carter. The possibility that Daphne has been trying to manipulate Carter into betraying Hope is a dangerous thought, and Katie is resolute in protecting her sister from any more heartache. Daphne's motives remain unclear, but it's becoming apparent that she may have an agenda that goes far beyond just being a part of the Forrester family's world. Her connection to Steffi and the way she's ingratiating herself with Carter raises questions about her loyalty and intentions. Katie's protective instincts are kicking into high gear, and she will stop at nothing to ensure that Hope is not further hurt by Daphne's possible manipulation. Katie's suspicions about Daphne's influence on Carter are fueled by her deep concern for Hope. She knows that Hope has already been through so much emotionally and is determined to keep her safe from further betrayal. Katie's protective nature becomes a driving force in her investigation into Daphne's behavior. Katie's confrontation with Daphne after the fashion show signals her determination to confront those who pose a threat to her family. Katie's warnings to Daphne are clear. She will not tolerate anyone playing games with Hope's heart. The tension between the two women will likely escalate as Katie digs deeper into Daphne's motives and uncovers more secrets. Katie is not one to back down when it comes to her family, and her determination to protect Hope could put her at odds with those around her. As the stakes continue to rise, Katie's loyalty to her sister will be tested, and it remains to be seen how far she's willing to go to ensure Hope's happiness. As Katie works tirelessly to uncover the truth about Daphne, the relationship between Carter and Daphne becomes more complicated. Carter has always been a man of integrity, but his connection with Daphne raises red flags. As Katie starts to notice the growing closeness between Carter and Daphne, it becomes clear that something is not right. Carter, who has been a loyal friend and partner to Hope, finds himself caught between his past with Hope and his current connection to Daphne. Daphne's influence over him seems to be growing stronger, and her motives are becoming more suspect by the day. Carter is torn between the two women in his life, but Katie is not letting him off easy. She warns him about the dangers of being manipulated by Daphne and makes it clear that he needs to make a choice before it's too late. As Katie continues to press Carter, the question arises, is Carter being manipulated by Daphne, or is he making his own decisions? His growing connection to Daphne threatens to unravel his relationship with Hope, and the consequences could be disastrous. If Carter is not careful, he could lose everything he holds dear. As Ridge continues to grapple with his father's interference, his relationship with both Brooke and Taylor hangs in the balance. The situation becomes more complicated as Ridge faces mounting pressure from his family, particularly Eric, to reconcile with Brooke. However, Ridge has made it clear that he is committed to Taylor and that his manipulations. Ridge stands firm in his decision to stay with Taylor. His relationship with her has deepened, and he is unwilling to let his father's influence dictate his future. However, Ridge's heart is still torn as he navigates the complex emotions surrounding his past with Brooke and his future with Taylor. The pressure from his family is immense, and Ridge is caught in the middle of a battle that could destroy his family dynamic forever. With Brooke's persistence and Eric's unwavering support, it's uncertain how long Ridge can resist the pressure to reconcile with his ex-wife. The culmination of these tensions and secrets will likely lead to a major fallout within the Forrester family. As Steffi and Taylor confront the truth about Eric's interference, the emotional toll on both women becomes apparent. Steffi, who has always been protective of her mother, will not stand idly by while her family is torn apart. Taylor, too, will find it difficult to accept the depth of Eric's betrayal. The confrontation between Ridge, Eric, Brooke, and Taylor is inevitable, and it will test the strength of the Forrester family's bonds. The future of Ridge and Taylor's relationship is uncertain, and it remains to be seen whether they can weather the storm created by Eric's manipulations. As Katie, Daphne, Carter, and Hope navigate their own battles, the fate of the Forrester family hangs in the balance. The coming weeks will undoubtedly bring even more drama, revelations, and heartache as the characters are forced to confront the truth and make life-changing decisions. Will Eric's interference tear the Forrester family apart for good? Can Ridge and Taylor survive the pressures of their family dynamic, or will Brooke's persistent influence win out? And what will happen with Carter and Daphne's complicated relationship? One thing is for sure. The Bold and the Beautiful is gearing up for a dramatic showdown that will leave viewers eagerly awaiting the next twist. The week of April 30th to May 1st, 2025, on The Bold and the Beautiful promises to be packed with explosive revelations, heart-wrenching moments, and life-changing decisions. From Ridge's emotional turmoil to Hope's shocking discovery about Liam's health, the characters are navigating the complicated terrain of relationships, secrets, and betrayals. In the wake of his father Eric's manipulations, Ridge finds himself in an emotional conflict. For years, Eric has been a guiding influence in his life, but now, Eric's interference in Ridge's personal life is pushing him to the brink. Ridge has always had a strong connection with Brooke, but his recent commitment to Taylor is being tested by Eric's actions. Ridge is confused and hurt by the way Eric has sided with Brooke, undermining his relationship with Taylor. After years of fighting for his family, Ridge is now questioning the sincerity of his father's intentions. His heart is with Taylor, but the loyalty he feels toward his father complicates things. Eric's support for Brooke has created a deep emotional rift, and Ridge is finding it harder and harder to ignore the pressures from his father and his past with Brooke. As Ridge grapples with his emotions, he begins to entertain the thought of leaving Los Angeles and retreating to a quieter life with Taylor. The couple has shared so much over the years, and the prospect of escaping the chaos of the Forrester family for a peaceful life by the beach with Taylor feels increasingly appealing. Will Ridge choose to leave everything behind, or will he give in to his family's demands and return to Brooke? The decision is not easy, and the weight of the Forrester family's legacy makes it all the more difficult for Ridge to find his way. As Ridge deals with his emotional turmoil, another subplot involving Daphne and Carter unfolds. Daphne has been working her way into Carter's life, and her influence over him has not gone unnoticed. While Carter has always been a man of integrity, his relationship with Daphne is becoming more complicated, especially as Katie begins to take notice of their growing closeness. Katie, ever the protector of her family, sees the potential for harm in Daphne's presence around Carter. She is particularly concerned about the effect Daphne might have on Hope, especially if Daphne is manipulating Carter for her own gain. Katie's protective instincts kick in as she begins to keep a closer eye on Daphne, determined to prevent any further damage to Hope's already fragile emotional state. After witnessing what seems to be a flirtatious exchange between Daphne and Carter, Katie decides to confront the situation head-on. She warns Carter about the potential dangers of getting too involved with Daphne and makes it clear that she will not let anyone hurt her sister. Katie's actions will undoubtedly lead to an escalating confrontation between her and Daphne, but it's clear that Katie is committed to protecting her family and preventing any further betrayals from occurring. Hope has been increasingly concerned about Liam's strange behavior. He has been avoiding her and hasn't visited their daughter Beth in quite some time. This sudden distance between them has left Hope uneasy, and she can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. When she decides to confront Liam about his whereabouts, she is met with silence and unanswered questions. Hope's suspicions grow when she tries to visit Liam at home, but finds that he's nowhere to be found. Determined to get to the bottom of things, she heads to the hospital for a checkup, where she is stunned to discover the truth about Liam's health. Liam has been hiding the fact that he has been diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor, and the reality of his condition sends shockwaves through Hope's world. But the surprise doesn't end there. As Hope learns more about Liam's condition, she is horrified to find out that she, too, has a tumor forming on her brain. The shock of learning that her health is also in jeopardy, coupled with the news about Liam's terminal diagnosis, leaves Hope grappling with emotions she's never faced before. How will she cope with this devastating news, and what does it mean for her future with Liam? The couple's relationship, already fraught with tension and uncertainty, now faces the ultimate test. Hope's emotional roller coaster deepens as she comes to terms with her own diagnosis while simultaneously grappling with the reality of losing Liam. Their past has been tumultuous, filled with heartache, misunderstandings, and moments of love. Now, with Liam's health deteriorating and Hope's future uncertain, the couple's relationship is on the brink of a new chapter. Hope's decision to stand by Liam during his most vulnerable time is a testament to the deep love and commitment they share, despite their past struggles. However, with the weight of both their health issues looming over them, it's unclear whether their love will be enough to carry them through this crisis. As they navigate this difficult period, Hope will have to decide how to balance her own health challenges with the desire to be there for Liam in his final days. Liam, on the other hand, struggles with the reality of his impending death. As he continues to deny the severity of his condition, he also finds himself torn between his love for Hope and the emotional weight of his terminal diagnosis. His desire to fight for a future with his family, even though it seems impossible, fuels his determination to stay alive. But as Hope's own health takes a turn, will Liam find the strength to fight for both of them, or will he come to terms with the fact that their time together is limited? Meanwhile, in another corner of the Forrester world, Carter and Daphne continue to grow closer, despite the looming shadow of Katie's suspicions. Carter has always been loyal to Hope, but Daphne's presence seems to be drawing him in. While Katie continues to warn him about Daphne's potential manipulations, Carter finds himself caught between his loyalty to Hope and his growing attraction to Daphne. Katie's determination to protect Hope becomes more apparent as she confronts Daphne about her intentions. Her warning is clear: she won't let anyone take advantage of her sister or cause her any more pain. But Daphne, with her own agenda, remains undeterred. The tension between the two women is palpable, and it seems inevitable that Daphne's influence on Carter will only continue to grow. The future for the characters of The Bold and the Beautiful is uncertain, with each of them facing significant challenges in their personal lives. Liam's battle with his brain tumor, Hope's own health crisis, and the ongoing tension between Ridge, Taylor, and Brooke create a storm of emotions and decisions that will define the coming episodes. As Hope grapples with her diagnosis, Liam's health deteriorates, and the Forrester family continues to unravel. The drama intensifies. Can these characters find peace amid the turmoil? Will Liam and Hope's love survive the ultimate test, or will they be torn apart by fate? The next few weeks will be critical in determining the future of these beloved characters, and the fans of The Bold and the Beautiful are eagerly waiting to see how the story unfolds. As the storylines unfold in The Bold and the Beautiful, the tension between Liam, Hope, and their respective futures reaches an emotional climax. On Friday, May 2nd, 2025, fans are in for a series of shocking revelations, heart-wrenching moments, and the unraveling of relationships that will change everything for the characters involved. With Liam's terminal diagnosis and Hope's newly discovered brain tumor, the couple's future has never seemed so uncertain. But what happens when love, fate, and medical crises collide in the lives of these characters? Let's dive into the heart of the drama that is sure to leave audiences on the edge of their seats. The episode begins with a heart-wrenching moment where Liam, despite his own struggles, takes the time to encourage Hope in her moment of distress. Hope has just revealed to Liam that she has been diagnosed with a brain tumor, and the weight of the news is overwhelming for both of them. The pain Liam is already experiencing due to his own deteriorating health is intensified by the heartbreaking news about Hope. For Liam, the desire to comfort Hope and offer her some hope in the face of his own grim prognosis is a powerful and poignant moment that will resonate with fans. As Hope expresses her fears about the tumor and its potential consequences, Liam's response is one of genuine concern and support. Despite knowing that his time is running out, he reassures her that she can face this challenge head-on and that they will fight together. His tears as he hears about her diagnosis reflect the deep bond they share, and in that moment, it is clear that Liam's love for Hope has never wavered, even in the face of his own impending death. But there's an added layer of complexity here. While Liam tries to provide Hope with strength and optimism, he can't escape the reality of his own situation. He is dying, and no amount of emotional support will change that. However, his desire to see Hope find happiness and healing is evident in every word he says. The juxtaposition of Liam's support for Hope and his own battle for survival creates an intense emotional dynamic that leaves viewers wondering if either of them will have the chance to experience true happiness in the time they have left. Hope's journey takes a sharp turn when she learns that she has a brain tumor that may not be operable. Unlike Liam's condition, which seems irreversible, Hope's diagnosis offers a slim glimmer of hope, a chance for surgery and recovery. However, there are no guarantees. While the potential for surgery exists, the fear that she may not survive the procedure hangs over her, just as it did for Liam. Her fear of losing her life, paired with the uncertainty of whether the surgery will work, adds a layer of anxiety to the already tense situation. The fact that Hope's condition is discovered so soon after Liam's deteriorating health intensifies the emotional turmoil both characters face. Hope's diagnosis is not just a physical burden. It is also an emotional weight that she must carry, knowing that her life could be at risk, and that she may never have the opportunity to repair her relationships or fulfill her dreams. For both Liam and Hope, time has become an enemy, and they must navigate the path forward knowing that the future they envisioned may no longer be within reach. Hope's emotional turmoil deepens as she grapples with the knowledge that she is facing her own mortality. While she has the support of Liam, her deep-seated fears of losing him, as well as her own future, make the situation even more difficult. As a mother, she worries about what will happen to her daughter, Beth, if she is no longer there to care for her. For Hope, the future is uncertain, and every decision she makes from this point forward carries the weight of life and death. Liam's encouragement for Hope to give Carter another chance comes with a heavy heart. Despite his own looming death, Liam understands that Hope deserves the chance for happiness, and he wants her to have a future, even if that future is without him. His desire for Hope to find love and comfort with someone else, particularly Carter, speaks to the selflessness of his character. Liam knows that Hope's emotional healing will require more than just his presence, and in a moment of clarity, he encourages her to pursue a life without him. His support is bittersweet, knowing that their time together is running out. As Liam faces his own mortality, his focus shifts from his health to the well-being of his loved ones, particularly Hope. His attempt to encourage Hope to move forward with Carter, even as he grapples with the pain of his own impending death, reveals just how deeply he cares for her. It is this selflessness that has made Liam such a beloved character, and it is this same selflessness that will likely push Hope and Liam to reconcile their differences and embrace the time they have left together. But even as Liam tries to push Hope toward healing and moving on, the possibility that Hope may not survive her surgery casts a shadow over their relationship. Could Hope die from her condition, leaving Liam to mourn the loss of the woman he loves, even as he faces his own death? The question of whether they will have enough time to rebuild their relationship, repair the broken parts of their past, and create new memories together lingers in the air. As Liam faces the prospect of death, his thoughts inevitably turn to the legacy he will leave behind. His love for Hope, the memories they created together, and his role as a father to their daughter, Beth, are central to his thoughts. Liam's future may be uncertain, but he is determined to leave a lasting impact on those he loves, especially on his daughter. His commitment to being there for Beth, even in the final moments of his life, is a reflection of his deep devotion to his family. The reality of Liam's situation, however, is that time is running out. He has little control over the future, and the possibility of dying before he can make things right with Hope or accomplish everything he set out to do is ever present. Yet, in the midst of this uncertainty, Liam remains committed to doing what he can for those he loves, even as the clock ticks down. Hope's journey in this arc is a reflection of the complexity of the human experience. She is confronted with the reality of losing Liam and facing her own mortality. The emotional weight of her situation is compounded by the fear of losing Liam and not having the time they both need to make things right. Hope's desire to fix what has been broken, to create a future with Liam, and to be a mother to her daughter while facing the specter of death adds depth and complexity to her character. The notion that Hope could die, just as Liam might, creates an overwhelming sense of tragedy and heartache. Will she survive her surgery and have the chance to rebuild her life, or will the heartbreak of losing her be too much for Liam to bear? The dramatic tension between life and death, hope and despair, will continue to shape the narrative as these beloved characters fight for a future together. At the heart of this storyline lies a love story that is defined by loss, sacrifice, and the passage of time. Liam and Hope's relationship has been one of highs and lows, but in these final moments, their love for each other is undeniable. As Liam faces his own death and Hope confronts her own health crisis, the question remains: will they have enough time to make peace, to rebuild their connection, and to experience the joy of being together again before it's too late? This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, the lives of these characters are at a crossroads. With everything at stake, the storylines are sure to take unexpected twists and turns. For Liam, Hope, and their family, the road ahead is filled with uncertainty, but the enduring power of love is something that cannot be easily extinguished. Will they find peace before the end, or will their time together be cut tragically short? The next chapters in this emotional saga are sure to keep viewers on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting what happens next.
Oh,